problem, buddy. I hear you. Good, how are you?
Okay, we're next joined by our next driver for our driver media availability, Matt Kenseth. Matt, obviously yesterday with the test session, how did it go for you? And you got to be excited about coming back to Las Vegas where you got your first win with Joe Gibbs Racing last year.
Yeah, I thought our test went pretty good. We seemed to have decent speed. Just worked on a lot of different things. Tried to gather some data and try to get the feel that we were looking for. So overall, I was pretty happy for the day. We didn't really do any real long runs. Looking forward to getting qualified today. Try to make that work for us, and then get to work and race it up tomorrow.
We'll open up for questions for Matt. We'll start here with Lee, then go back to Alan and Lewis.
Lee Spencer, real quick on the baby countdown. What's the due date?
It's about 3 weeks.
You got a backup plan for that in case things, go awry, or?
Not really. I just told her to have it on a Monday.
Now back to racing. Can you talk a little bit about where you feel Joe Gibbs Racing is right now with your intermediate track program?
Well, it's tough to say since we haven't ran an intermediate track yet, but I felt like, I felt like the test, kind of, like I just said, I thought the test was okay. I thought, we had decent speed and the car reacted good to change, but anyway, so nobody's raced here, obviously, with this new no ride height rule and with a new aero package with a bigger spoiler and all that stuff. So it's a little bit of an unknown, really, until you get going. I think today you get qualified and then really get through race practice tomorrow before you have a real good idea. I haven't got the chance to catch up with Denny or Kyle after the test yet yesterday. So, but I was encouraged with what we saw yesterday. So we'll just have to see how the weekend goes.
Okay, back to Alan.
NASCAR.com. On that point, how will Sunday's result in the race affect the rest of your season, given that we go to so many intermediate races, and how will you look at those results and judge them going forward?
I feel like when you get back from California, you kind of have a pretty good idea where you stack up compared to your competition, because you've been at a super speedway, you've been at a flat mile, you've been at intermediate like this. Bristol's a short track, and then a real wore out pavement type track like California. So you kind of get an idea where you are and where you need to improve. But it's so early in the season. I don't think in the first handful of races you can really predict where you're going to be at the end of the year, because things change a lot. The rules package is a fair amount different than it was last year, and obviously that's going to evolve, and people are going to either the people that are ahead, you might get caught up to them a little bit, or vice versa. So I think things change a lot in a year. It's really hard to say, but I think certainly after the next few weeks, you kind of get an idea, where you are, what your strong suits are, where you need to improve.
Okay, we'll move up here to Lewis.
Louis Frank, Reuters and AutoWeek.com. Matt, your teammate earlier said that there's not so much pressure this time of year to notch that win under the new chase rules, but once we're in the chase and you start going to Chicago, Loudon, Dover, that's when the pressure builds to get that win, to stay in the chase. And you leave intermediate tracks to go to 1 milers. I was wondering how your approach will change, if at all, as you get down into that first segment of the chase.
Man, we're talking about the chase already.
Yeah, I didn't bring it up.
It's the first week of March.
I know.
I have put almost zero thought into the chase. I mean, it's so early in the season. I've really been focused on the new procedures for qualifying, the new ride height rule. Try to get a feel for that. Try to get a feel for changes, the new aero rules. I could honestly, at this point of the year, I could care less about the chase. I'd really like to win a race so you feel like you're qualified. And then, I think we got 6 months of racing to do before we got to worry about that. I think it's probably a little bit early.
Okay. Thank you.
For me, I haven't thought about it. Maybe other people have. I just haven't.
Any other questions for Matt? Okay, back here in the back with Marty.
Kansas. Marty Smith, ESPN. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning, Marty.
You last year obviously had a tremendous year in terms of wins and success and all that with Jason and those guys. What's the zone feel like?
What's the what feel like?
The zone.
The fan zone?
Not the fan zone.
Neon garage?
I would love to know what the fan zone feels like for you, though. I'm sure that's a joyous occasion when you walk through there.
Man, I don't know. I mean, whenever things are are clicking, it always feels good. I don't want to say it's easy, because it's not, but you know, when things are clicking and communication is good and you got a good feel for what you want and they have a good feel for, you know, what to get in the car and what changes to make to get you what you want. I mean, that's always fun, but I think it's something you have to, you know, constantly work on, especially as you know, setups change, rules change, tracks change, tires change, all that stuff. I think it's something you always have to work on and try to, you know, keep an open mind and not get stuck on maybe what worked before, because it might be different this time around. So obviously I've really enjoyed working with that team, and I'm looking forward to our second year together and you know, hopefully getting stronger.
Okay, I have a question up here with Kenny Bruce.
Kenny Bruce with NASCAR.com. Matt, how has the racing surface here changed and aged over the years, and how will that impact what you guys do as far as setups?
Yeah, I mean, the setup stuff is just so different, taking away the ride height thing. So, you know, it's really hard to compare anything, you know, from the past. So I feel like the track has aged some, especially when we first got on it yesterday before it had any rubber and got many cars out there. It was a lot slower and slick. It obviously got a lot faster as we got cars on it. So I feel like the track has changed some. It's backed up some. It's aged some. It's got, you know, all the things that pavement does. But I think with the added downforce that they gave us this year and other rules changes, I think the speeds are actually higher, you know, again, than what they were last year. Corner speeds, I think, are faster with extra downforce. So I think it kind of was a wash. We're actually probably a little bit quicker, but the track is definitely aging. And last year it got pretty wide. I expect it to be pretty wide again.
Is it one of the better 1.5-mile tracks as far as what you guys can do out there?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the track got pretty wide last year. There's some guys way up on the top, some guys way on the bottom. So I feel like it's widened out, you know, and it's you know, it's pretty good. It's definitely got some options for where you can run.
Any other questions for Matt? Okay. Good luck this weekend, Matt.
Thanks.
Thank you.